Welcome to Yin Yoga. We're going to do 45 minutes focusing on the deep stretches for the connective tissue and our fascia for our hips, legs, back, shoulders. So we're going to start lying on our backs. So if you have a cushion maybe to rest your head on, but you don't need that, it's just if you tend to throw your chin back, you need to try and keep the chin towards the chest so we're not compressing our neck. Also, if you have handy a belt or a tie or something, maybe even some tennis balls in a sock, 2 tennis balls in a sock is good, but that's just an extra that I might add, but if you've got them handy that's good, but you don't necessarily need them. So starting lying on our backs, and this is called knees into the chest. So all we're doing is lying on our back. You could have your cushion underneath your head, just to bring that chin towards the chest a little bit more, and just hugging the knees into the chest. So each move we will add some modifications, and we'll hold each one for about 5 minutes. So in the whole 45 minutes we'll just do probably about 10 different stretches. So this one is obviously for our back. We can also take our knees side to side. We need a stretch for the back of the neck. We can bring up our head towards our knees and rest the head back down. So we want to think of the main movement, which is lying on our back with our knees into the chest. So bringing the back into its natural alignment. So as the back is on a hardish floor, we're helping to just iron out any kinks, any fixes. So the back joints get fixed together, or we can get things like bulging discs and things like that. So this helps to iron out. We can close our eyes and focus on our breath maybe. So breathing in and out through the nose. So next you can stay in this one if you like, if this feels really nice. Or for the next one we can stretch out the left leg along the floor, which will bring a stretch into the left upper thigh, the hip flexor. We can also see if we can hug that right knee into the chest a bit more. Maybe holding here for 6 deep breaths. Again, you can stay in this half knee into the chest move, or you can change sides. So you can hug the left knee into the chest and extend the right foot along the floor. And each time we move, say after we've held something for a minute or longer, we feel what we call the rebound, which is what happens to the connective tissue, the joints, the muscles when we change position. And sometimes this is like the magic moment in yin, because we've been holding gently, and then we notice energy as it releases after we've held. And then draw the right knee into the chest again. So another movement we could do is go into what we call happy baby. So this is where we say cross the ankles, take the knees apart, or we can keep the soles of the feet together. So there's various options, and it's where we place the feet that will make the difference with this, where you feel the stretch. So you can reach forward and take holds of your feet, maybe again taking the knees side to side, maybe taking the feet apart, maybe pressing the knees apart a bit. So these are great movements for the back and the hips, and they're safer doing them while we're lying on our back because the floor is supporting our back. And then one more movement. Maybe this is a deeper stretch for a hamstring, so you can stretch one foot up towards the ceiling. So the sole of the foot's up towards the ceiling, say the right foot, and then the right knee is coming into the right armpit. Maybe hold here 6 breaths, maybe bring your left foot to the floor. And this is half happy baby. Maybe even stretch the left foot along, left leg along the floor, which makes it more intense. Slowly bring the left foot back in, and then change sides, and maybe just bringing the right foot to the floor, stretching the sole of the left foot towards the ceiling, but the left leg's bent, just drawing that left knee into the left armpit and holding on to the outside or the inside of the left foot with the left hand. Maybe try and stretch out your right leg along the floor. Hold again for about 6 breaths. Draw the left knee and the right knee back into the chest, so hugging the knees into the chest. Maybe alternating one leg on the floor, one knee into the chest. So working on that rebound, noticing what you notice as we move slowly with awareness. So each yin pose, there's many variations, many options. It's all kind of an experiment or exploration into what we notice, what we feel. Some sensations are quite deep, others are quite mild. So from here we're going to lift up slowly to seated, and from here coming into the butterfly stretch, so the soles of the feet together. And here it's quite nice to enable us to fold a bit more forward to sit on the cushion, which helps to elevate the hips. So here where we place our feet will change the intensity, so the feet closer in and the chest forward will be a deeper stretch for the adductors. Maybe walk the hands, take the hands around the feet. So we can keep that intensity in the inner thigh, the adductors, or we can walk the feet forward and we can come off the cushion and then place the cushion between the, kind of resting on the feet.
We'll see if we can fall forward to rest the head on the cushion, or
Maybe rest the elbows on the cushion or the elbows on the shins.
and rest the head in the hands. So you want to close the eyes, focus on the sensations in the body, focus on a nice deep breath. Number 6 breaths in the butterfly. Lifting up slowly.
So noticing as we come out slowly, maybe feeling the back, placing the cushion to the side, stretching out the legs one at a time. Notice the hips, notice the back of the legs. Maybe puffing the chest up towards the ceiling as we've been round in the back. Maybe looking up towards the ceiling and then coming forward. So now coming into Sphinx. So we've done the flexion of the back, now we're doing extension of back. So Sphinx, lying on our front. Pressing the elbows into the floor. We don't need to worry about engaging the thigh muscles. We can maybe just wiggle the hips side to side. So here we can rest. If it gets too much, we'll be here about 5 minutes. If it gets too much, bring your head down to, your hands down to the floor and rest your head into your hands. And we'll lift back up onto the elbows when it feels good for you.
look forward or you can look down towards the floor. You can bring your chin towards your chest. Maybe taking the chin to the left shoulder, chin to the right shoulder. If you feel any tension in the neck, it's quite nice to do this.
So if you like a deeper stretch in the quad muscles, the thigh muscles, we can lift the feet up, creating a bit more of a stretch. Creates a bit more of back bend, so we need to be careful with our backs. If we'd like a deeper stretch for the hips and the back, we could come into half frog. So bringing our right knee up towards our right elbow. Try not to lean too much over to your left. Try and, if anything, press into your right hip a little bit. Slowly bring down the right leg and then drop the left knee up towards the left elbow. And stay here a bit longer with the half frog, or bring the left knee down. And then here, if you want to, try a stretch for our shoulders and our neck. So going into the bow tie with on a sphinx. So the right elbow's in front, left elbow underneath. We're walking the fingers away from each other. So palms down, inching your fingers away, and then you're resting your chin or your right cheek on your top arm, your right arm. Lift up, back up slowly, and changing sides. So left elbow is in front, right elbow behind, and again stretching the fingertips away from each other, and then left cheek on the top arm, left cheek or chin on your top arm, or just resting your head on your top arm. And lifting up
slowly.
Stay in Sphinx for another minute. And pressing into the elbows, lifting up really slowly out of the 5-minute Sphinx. Just be careful, be mindful. Notice the rebound in the body. Maybe coming to tabletop, some cats and cows, or we can draw in a circle with the hips. One direction feels really nice. Or hip side to side as well. Or bringing the hips forward and pushing the hips back. Again, it's like an exploration. Feeling into all the nooks and crannies in the body. And from here we'll go into wide knee child pose with a twist. So our toes are together and our knees are apart, as wide as apart as they'll go. So here we're feeling a stretch in the inner thigh. And here bringing the bottom back to the heels, or taking the cushion just on the heels to rest your bottom on the cushion. And from here, this is also a double bonus because we're stretching out the neck and the shoulders. So we're bringing the left hand forward and we're taking our right fingertips, threading through all as far as we can towards the left. Then bringing our right shoulder down, our right ear down. So here we can stretch the left fingertips forward for an opening in the chest and the armpits, or we can bring the left hand to rest on your lower back, or between the right hip and the right thigh. And then again, closing the eyes, really breathing into the stretch. So you can practice now your 3-part breath. Feel the tummy expanding, the side ribs expanding, chest expanding on the inhale. And release everything on the exhale. Another 5 or 6 breaths this side.
And press into your left hand, lifting up slowly.
Because the knees and the legs have been bent for a while, just coming forward, stretching the right leg back, pushing the right heel back, and then changing sides, left leg back, left heel back. And then coming back to wide knee child pose with the twist. So knees as wide apart as they'll go again, bottom coming back. Then stretching those left fingertips through as far as you can, palm up. Then slowly bring the left ear down, the left shoulder down. Maybe inch the right fingertips forward. Or bring your right hand onto your lower back. Or resting the right hand in between the left hip and the left thigh. Practicing that full deep 3-part yogi breath. So tummy expands, side ribs, chest. On your inhale, release, breathe out as deeply as possible. And 3 more breaths. And slowly stretching your right hand forward, press into the right hand, and the left hand forward. And again, maybe some cats and cows, or circles with the hips, or stretching one leg behind, pressing the heel back, the other leg behind. And then slowly coming onto our backs. So now a stretch for part of the body that sometimes we forget to stretch, which is the lateral, the outside of our bodies. So this is the banana asana. So we're making a banana shape with our bodies. So first of all, we're in the centre of the mat, and then we're taking our feet over to the right, our shoulders over to the right, and then here, want to keep the left hip down, we can cross our left ankle over our right, or our right ankle over our left. I get a deeper stretch if I stretch my left ankle over my right, and then arms above the head, holding the right wrist with your left hand. And we'll hold for about 3 minutes. And slowly releasing the arms down, pressing into the elbows as we bring the head and the shoulders back to the centre, and then uncrossing the ankles. So here with our rebound, we can press the feet into the floor, maybe lifting the hips up in a gentle bridge, or bringing the knees back into the chest. Rebound is sometimes feels so good after the yin poses. And then we'll change sides for the banana asana. So body in the centre of the mat first. Walk the feet over to the left. Choose which ankle crosses over which. And then shoulders and head to the left. Stretch the arms above the head. And then here, holding the left wrist with the right hand, feeling the stretch, the outside of your right side of the body. Keep your right hip down.
About another 6 breaths. Maybe stretching the hands up a bit more. Maybe just shuffling the shoulders a bit more to the left. Slowly bring the arms down. Maybe press the elbows into the floor as we shuffle the shoulders back to the centre. And cross the ankles. Notice, maybe bend the legs, press the feet into the floor, lift the hips. Maybe, or a couple of pelvic tilts feels nice. Or bringing the knees into the chest. Maybe taking the knees away, maybe stretching the legs up towards the ceiling, taking the hands behind the legs, interlocking the fingers, feel the stretch in the hamstrings. Then we come into a reclining twist. Get the body in the centre of the mat. So I'll give you a couple of options. First of all, it's quite nice to do reclining twist with the feet on the floor and the knees together. And we're just knees to one side, feel the stretch, knees to the centre, maybe a pelvic tilt, knees down to the left, feel the stretch. Maybe a couple of the more working on mobility for the spine and the hips as we take the knees side to side slowly. And then we can hold the stretch statically, so we can have the knees together and the feet together. We can look over the left shoulder, or we could try the twisted roots. So here your right leg's out straight and your left foot's over your right knee. Maybe bringing your left ankle underneath the right calf. Here as well, you could try and draw that left knee down towards the right hand side a bit more, with the holding on to the left knee with the right hand. And 6 more breaths this side. back to the centre, and crossing the legs if you were doing the twisted roots. A couple of pelvic tilts, maybe knees into the chest, knees side to side, before we change to the other side. So either feet together, knees together, arms out like a T shape, knees down to your left, or left leg out straight, right foot over the leg, left leg, maybe right foot underneath the left calf, and then drawing the left knee over to the side, right knee over to the side. Maybe bringing the right knee closer to the floor with the left hand. We can even shuffle our shoulders a bit over to the left and head over a bit to the left. So if the legs are tangled, slowly untangling and untwisting, bringing the body to the centre of the mat again. Again, focusing on the rebound as we lift out of that reclining twist. Maybe again stretching the legs up towards the ceiling, interlocking the fingers maybe behind the legs, pushing the heels up towards the ceiling. Could even reach up for the toes with the fingers. So deep hamstring stretch. Maybe bring the feet over the head. So now, whichever position you want to, which can be constructive rest, with the knees together, feet out, or the new one called the pentacle. So that's feet out wide and arms out wide. So feet as wide as they can apart, arms as wide apart, and then we're taking 10 deep breaths. So you can count, if you need energy, you can count from 1 to 10, breathing in as deeply as you can and out as deeply as you can. Or if you want to relax more, you count from 10 down to 1. So inhale 10, exhale 10. So whichever way, until you either reach 1 or until you reach 10. If you lose count, just start again at 10 or 1. and bringing yourself out of constructive rest or pentacle, leaving the counting behind, and then slowly walk the feet back together, bring the arms down if the arms were above the head, bring the knees into the chest, knees side to side, and then either taking the knees down to one side and pausing, or using the tummy muscles to roll up to seated. Thank you for joining, and hope you enjoyed. See you soon. Bye for now.